Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to customize mirror lights. So I'll link these lights and mirror caps in the description, but essentially what we're going to be doing is cutting them apart. So I've got the other side cut apart, and I've got the reflector pulled out, and I'm going to be adding a LED strip in there and wiring it to the doors. So kind of a different mod, but just stay tuned. So on the back side of this, I don't know if you can see that lined plastic weld. That's where the lens and the back meet. So you want to cut on that line, and it's all around. It's a little more faint on this side, but you can kind of see, if I get it at this angle, the bulge. But basically you just want to follow this all around, and I'll show a time lapse of how I tackle it. Okay, so at this time I just have a guide cut going along just to show you guys how to cut. So once again, you want to cut on that little plastic welded spot all around. And you kind of want to be careful around these tabs. Don't stay on them too long because they will fall off. So I would suggest just getting a guide cut in first, and then just going from there. So now I've cut it a second time, this time a lot deeper. And what I'm gonna do is take my screwdriver right here and stick it in and twist it all around. And you should hear the plastic kind of creak a little bit. And you should also see it kind of pull away, like it's pulling away right there. But just go around, stick your screwdriver in it, and almost cut myself. Put it in it and just give it a slight twist, like so. Just put it in it, twist it. And once again, you want to be careful around your screw holes because you don't want them to fall off. And it's okay if you have to cut multiple times. Like I already know I'm gonna have to cut again, probably in this area right here, because I can see I didn't go all the way through, and it's requiring a lot of pressure to separate it. So I'll cut again, and I'll update you guys whenever I pull the back part off of this lens. So when you pull it apart, it's gonna come out one of two ways. So this chrome piece right here is either going to be inside of the lens, or it's going to be attached to the back piece like this. Either way, it's fine. So I'm going to toss this to the side and then separate this from the back piece. And honestly, this is held on by a little bit of plastic weld, it looks like, and glue. So once again, I'm going to take my screwdriver and just kind of wedge it under it. And I'm just prying up. Then you should be able to just pull it off and see that glue right there and that little tab holding it in. But we're not gonna be using that. Toss it down. These lights also come with the amber LED strip in it. Not gonna be using that, so you can pull back on it and it comes in right here, and this is just glued. I have luck with just kind of pulling them a little bit. So ripping it off and then taking the wires and ripping it this way. So you should be left with this. You got to clean up these ridges, clean up this glue, and then you should be left with this. So Next step is, after cleaning this up, I'm going to paint this black, and then I have some Rust-Oleum frosted glass I'm going to use on the inside of this, outside of this. I'm going to lay my LED strip in here and try to point the wires the same way that they came in. So that'll be in the next clip. Let me get this cleaned up, get all this like scrap plastic and glue off of here, and then I'll show you guys a little bit about the painting process. I'm about to start on painting. I'm gonna do the back sides black and let them cure overnight. That way in the morning, whenever I go to mount the LED strips in, they won't have an issue sticking. So I'm not gonna sand, I'm not gonna primer, I'm just gonna use some flat black spray paint. I'm gonna do the front, all of this obviously, and I may do the back, just depending on how I feel, but I doubt it. So the next step is frosting the lenses. I'm using this Rust-Oleum frosted glass, and I've already started the process, but you want to go back and forth in far light motions. So I've been holding it about probably here, so the can says 10 to 12 inches away, and just misting it really lightly, waiting 5 to 10 minutes, doing it again, waiting 5 to 10 minutes, doing it again. This is about 2 coats. I don't want to pick it up yet, but I can definitely see the frosting coming in. So I'm going to do both the inside and the outside. That way everything looks uniform and frosted. But this is just the beginning process of it. So I have the LEDs mounted in the back housing. And what you want to start by doing is drilling a small hole to run your wire through. So I've got the wire run through the back, and then I'm just using the 3M double-sided tape that comes on the back of these to hold it in place. So I got this one at the bottom running, and then if you see these solder points right there, I took a red and white wire and connected the bottom strip to the top strip, which is what you see right there. So these strips are running concurrent now. So if the bottom's on, top's on, and vice versa. And I will power it on just to show you kind of what the vision. Okay. So this is what it looks like. That was kind of bright. Let me turn it down just a smidge. But I wanted to make sure I had both rows of LEDs mounted, like right on top of each other. And just to hold my solder points in place, I used hot glue. So I got this whole left side where my index finger hot glued, and then I also hot glued this hole that I made to run the wire through. So all that's left to do is put the cover back on. I'm going to plastic weld the back a little bit, then add some silicone to make it waterproof. Okay, so I'm at the point to where I have the front of the lens taped off, and I just have the back pressed on. So as you can see, there's still gaps and everything with it. I'm going to take this plastic welder right here and plastic weld some of this back together just to keep the rigidity of the light. But for the most part, I'm going to use silicone to seal it back up. I'm using this GE Advanced Silicone, Silicone 2, and I had black in the house, so I'm just using black. So you pop around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this corner right here, and let me get my tape out the way. And it's already kind of hot, so I'm just going to take the edge of it, if you can say, take the edge, and just kind of glide it across. Don't go too fast, but don't stay in one spot for too long either. this corner. Right there. And right there. And then at this point, I'm gonna let that cool down, but I'm gonna look around the light to see if there's any close points of contact, like right here, that I can just mesh back together. So, and I'll just do the same thing. I just run it across. So there's one, and then on this side, I see one as well. So yeah, let me finish this up off camera, and then I'll get back to you whenever I start to silicone the light up. So now I'm back after plastic welding, and I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. So like I said, I didn't do the full thing just because some gaps are bigger than the others, but I did do this section, left that section blank. I did this section, did the corner right there, and I left a lot of this section blank. And that means I'm just gonna have to rely on the silicone to actually seal it up. But even at this point, it's not coming apart. If I drop it, it stays together. But I need to waterproof it. So I'm gonna silicone it, and then it should be ready to go. Set that down. I have this one, the other side, done. I just have it baking in the sun right now, but I did that one the exact same way. So in the next clip, probably be in about a day or so, I will show you guys these lights in full effect, and then the installation process as well, if I can figure that out. So I'm going to show you what they look like at night. And just a disclaimer, I did not record the wiring process, but I'm going to try to explain it to the best of my ability. So I'll link these caps in the description, but one thing that I wanted to note that I did, so I painted this gloss black obviously, and then I also painted this gloss black because the flat black was fading, and I already had the black and the 2K clear, so I figured why not. On the actual lights themselves, the reason that I frosted it is so this frosting will distribute the light and make it kind of spread out more, and in turn will kind of make it a little bit brighter. You can kind of see the LEDs in there, but it's not as bad as if I didn't frost it. So that's the reason I frosted it, but technically you don't have to, and you'll be fine. As far as wiring goes, let me explain that real quick to you. This driver's side was super easy. If you watch the Q50 video, it's literally the same exact way. So I got this mirror, it runs right here. And then the two wires, the positive and the ground, I have the positive on the window switch, and I'll insert a picture of that now. And then I just have it grounded on a piece of bare metal. Now the other side, which is the passenger side, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but I'll try to explain it the best I can. So let me just show you what I'm working with. Like I said, I don't like doing this, but it's really the only method that I had to do. So I have just a red wire, my positive wire, coming out of this door grommet right here, and I did add some silicone so it won't leak. But I got it going from the door grommet behind the fender, and I made sure that it was tucked behind the door latch, so when I shut the door and open it up, it's not going to pinch the wire. But I got it coming out of the door through the fender right here, and there is a grommet back here. A lot of people will use it to run the wires for subs, but I don't have subs, so poked a little hole through there, ran the wire through there. Be sure to put silicone on that too, just so it doesn't leak. But your wire should fall behind your glove box, and then you want to route it to your other side, to the driver's side. Once the wire is on the driver's side, you want to tuck it under your carpet, which I need to tuck it a little bit better because you can kind of see it right there. You want to tuck it under your carpet, and you want to wire it to one of these fuses, and I'll attach a picture of which fuse you want to wire it to. And basically what that will allow that light to do over there, it will allow it to turn on and off with the car. And wiring it to the window switch on this side does the exact same thing. It'll turn on when the car's on, off when the car's off. So it really shouldn't drain the battery that much. It's a big trailer truck trying to get through here. But yeah, that's how it looks at night. Gloss black mirrors, frosted lenses, and then I also painted the actual housing gloss black with the same 2K clear, so it looks like factory paint. Here's what they look like illuminated. So that frosting once again helps distribute that light, and it doesn't make the LEDs look as visible, although you can kind of see them a little bit once I turn the brightness down. But the naked eye really won't see that. It's gonna be the exact same on the passenger side. So I had someone ask me, what do they look like a side profile? So I'll get to the side and show you what it looks like if you drive beside of me. So it'll look like that. So that's the significance of frosting the lenses. Like I said, you don't have to, but it does help with the look of it. And pulling that chrome reflector out. If you don't pull that chrome reflector out of these housings, it will not be as bright. And I know that from experience. This is my second set that I've done for this car. And on the initial set, I did RGB, which didn't turn out that well, but I left the chrome reflector in it, and I hated the way that it looked. So on this set, I just did pure white LEDs, and it looks a lot better, flows a lot better with the car, with the puddle lights and the headlights and the emblem. So I want to apologize once again for not being able to show you the wiring in full detail. I hope the explanation was good enough, but if not, leave a comment and I will try to help you to the best of my ability. And once again, everything's linked in the description, so if you have any questions or anything, if I forget something, please let me know. But this is a pretty straightforward process. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.